I took 5 grams of creatine every day for almost 2 years. And then at 55, I decided to double it. Surprisingly, it had very little to do with my workouts and more to do with what was going on with my brain during menopause. So I'm going to tell you why I moved from 5 grams to 10, what I noticed when I did, why some days I actually take more than 10 grams, and what I want other women my age to know before they do the same. This video is being sponsored by PyCey, and I am especially excited to share with you how they help me reach my daily creatine goals. Each packet has 5 grams of creatine plus electrolytes, so I am tickled pink to introduce you to them and to tell you about a specific problem they help solve for me. So when I first started taking creatine, it had nothing to do with menopause or brain health. I started exercising and I just wanted to get stronger. So when I started looking into it, creatine was the most studied supplement out there. It regenerated ATP. So I started adding a scoop to my post-workout shake. I wasn't as wiped out after training. I wasn't as sore. I recovered better. My sets started increasing. I was lifting more. My muscles were firmer and fuller. Everything was going fantastic. So you probably want to know, well, then why did you double it? Because y'all, after menopause hit, I felt like I got instantly stupid. And I'm not exaggerating here. I am in IT and I dig into data and systems and analytics and I solve complicated problems. And things that were easy for me all of a sudden became very hard. And it wasn't just work. I was standing in the kitchen trying to cook dinner and it took me a few minutes to figure out what the next step is. And that's something I did every day for 35 years. It got to the point where my husband, Ronnie, actually asked me one day, he said, "I can't believe you're still using a recipe to cook that. You have made that every week for 3 years. Exactly. I have made it every week for 3 years and I have to read a recipe card every single week." And that's when I started reading about the benefits of creatine outside of the gym. Luckily for me, studies had started emerging on the brain health for menopausal women, as well as possible benefits for Alzheimer's, sleep, and bone. So I had to dig straight in and see what the science was saying. Now, I'm not going to get into all the sciencey mumbo jumbo in this video, but what I am going to do is link the studies down below in the description because they are much better equipped to explain all of that stuff to you. I thought it'd be best coming from the horse's mouth. So after reading all that sciencey mumbo jumbo myself, I decided to experiment and double my dose. And wouldn't you know it, that shit worked, and it worked amazingly well. I felt clearer. I was sharper. I could get through meetings. Work felt less difficult. My mind was just clearer and sharper, and I could get through things with so much less frustration. For me, it was a very noticeable and significant difference. And I'll tell you what else I found. That on those days where I am sleep deprived or I have extra pressure because I'm presenting to my CIO, I'll add another 5 or 10 grams a couple of hours ahead of time to ensure that I am sharp as a tack. And I tell you what, it works. I can get through that meeting. I am sharp. I am clear. I am my old self. I am on point. I am telling you that there is nothing like creatine. I take my first 5 grams of creatine in my post-workout shake. However, there's only so many drinks a girl can drink during the day. So I used to add in flavor creatine into my electrolytes and sip on that throughout the morning. That is, until PyCey came along with their new product and replaced those 2 products. Each of these packets contains 5 grams of creatine plus electrolytes. So that's like 2 products for the price of 1, and who doesn't love a BOGO? The sparkling strawberry lemonade is light and refreshing. It has 0 sugar and is sweetened with allulose and monk fruit. And can you believe the pink comes from beets? It only has 10 calories, it's third-party tested, and it's made in the USA. I gave up soda a few years ago, and PyCey has a slight fizziness to it that kind of satisfies that carbonation craving, which is kind of cool. Plus, they're really easy to transport. I just toss these in my purse, in my backpack, my lunchbox. Heck, I even have these in my desk at work to cover me for those meetings that I have with my CIO. If you'd like to give PyCey a try, I'm going to pop a QR code right here. I'll also put the details down below in the description. They are offering my audience a discount of 20% with code TINA20. So if you're considering starting creatine, I think the first thing you need to do is ask yourself the question, What benefit are you looking for out of the supplement? Is it muscles? If so, research shows that 5 grams is completely adequate. If it's for the brain and cognitive benefits, I would suggest reading the studies and then talking to your healthcare provider to determine the right dose based on your medical history. If you take any supplements, I highly recommend that you know your numbers. I'm a member of Function Health and I pull over 100 biomarkers twice a year to ensure that I'm supplementing correctly. I also thoroughly research every single supplement that I take to ensure that the brand is trustworthy, the ingredients are clean, and that they third-party test their products. Consistency matters with creatine. 5 grams a day over time is enough to build up and maintain your muscle creatine stores, but the brain appears much harder to saturate. You don't just take creatine before a meeting and expect your brain to switch on. It takes consistency over time. Now, as far as what to buy, creatine monohydrate is the form that has been most studied, and I like the micronized version just because it's easier for mixability. So to answer that question, what happened when I doubled my creatine dose at 55? I got my mojo back. I don't know how else to say it. I'm able to do the job that they're paying me to do without looking and sounding like an idiot, and that was enough in my book. I truly hope that the information I shared in this video helps you on your menopause journey. I'll also add a playlist right here with some additional menopause videos that I have. Next month, I'll be sharing how I've tackled sleep, which has been quite the project. I hope you consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching my video.